Hi, today I'm going to show you how to wrap your own jump rings. Here we see a mandrel which you will be making your coil on, and this is what I made my coil from, a length of 20 gauge copper jewelry wire, and I also have my cutters, very important, need these guys. So first off, what you want to do is take a little bit of wire from your coil and you want to straighten it out. You just use your fingers and run them along the length of wire until it gets a little straight. Take your mandrel, it can be anything round, and be sure to measure it because it's going to be the inside diameter of your jump ring after you're finished. Leaving yourself a little tail, you want to wrap it around the mandrel, just like that, making sure the wire from the coil and your tail end don't twist. I like to use my thumb, and I am just going to slip it up in between there, making sure both pieces of the wire are tight against the mandrel. I'm then going to keep the wire from the coil loosely in between my index finger and my thumb of my non-dominant hand, using either the index finger or my thumb of my dominant or my right hand. I am going to start to turn the mandrel. You want to keep your coils pretty short, and you also want to be sure that the wire is nice and tight and even up against each other. I'm going to try and turn this so you guys can see it. This is why you want to use this little tail. It is going to help you turn your mandrel. And you just want to let the wire from the coil slide through your fingers nice and easy. And you're just going to do that for, I don't know, 9, 10, 12 twists. Remember, you do want to keep your coil short. What you don't want to do is do something like this. Let it go loose and start to get funny looking, and yeah, because that's not going to make a good jump ring. So once you've wound your short length of coil, you're going to slip it off the mandrel. Yours is not going to look like this, by the way. And you're going to cut it off as close to that end coil as you can. And yours is going to wind up looking like this. Nice, tight, even coils in a nice, tight little spiral. I have already cut off the excess ends from my jump rings, or from my wire here, and left this little piece right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. That is tiny. And that's where you're going to start to cut your jump ring from. This is called pinch cutting. You're going to take your pliers in whatever hand you use to cut, and you are going to butt them up right against that end piece and cut into the next coil of wire, being careful not to cut in to the next side. And when you do that, you wind up with a jump ring. You are going to cut all the way down the length of coil, one coil at a time, until the coil has been completely cut. Oops. And you have, this one's not cooperating, and you have there we go, pile of jump rings. I am turning my cutters over for what they call flush cutting, taking each opposite side of the cutters and butting it up against the last edge cut and snipping it. Creates more of a even end for the jump rings instead of this angled off edge that you get when you pinch cut them. And that's how you wind and cut your own jump rings. You can use variations of wire. I recommend don't go any higher than 18 gauge if you're hand wrapping them. 16 gauge is a little heavier and can get a little tight. I hope you learned something today, and I'm going to continue to cut my coils. Thanks for watching.